Hello, I'm Chris Lapadoulis of Anastasiopoulos. This is Man Free World, and today I wanted to talk about this tweet I saw on Twitter, which I don't really look at very much, but it popped out. It was about Tucker Carlson, and I'll be playing this little clip here of what he has to say here about ETs and ET influence on planet Earth. And he says Tucker Carlson doubles down his knowledge of aliens, suggesting the U.S. government may have entered into some sort of agreement with them. The comments come from Tucker. The comments from Tucker come days after he said what he has learned about aliens is so dark he won't even tell his wife. Says they're not aliens; they've always been here. I do think it's spiritual. He also says that's my view. Again, not provable, but based on the evidence. Dot dot dot. If the U.S. government has in fact had contact with these beings and entered into sort of agreement with them, it's a very heavy thing. Yeah, no shit. Tucker previously said that the things he said he has learned regarding aliens are so dark that he won't tell his wife. Things There are parts of the story that I do not understand at all and are really, really, really dark. It's so dark that I haven't told my wife about it. He said parts of the government don't want you to know about it, and but part of it is public and can't deal with it. It's too far out. Um, it says the implications are too profound. Okay, so I'm going to play this clip here.
It's my personal belief, based on a fair amount of evidence, that they're not aliens. They've always been here, and I do think it's spiritual. That's my view.
So,
Again, it's not provable, but based on the evidence, I think
I'm with you.
absolutely. If the U.S. government has in fact had direct contact with these beings, whatever they are, I've already told you what I think they are, and has entered into some sort of agreement with them, which is the claim of informed people, I would say. Whether they're right or wrong, I can't say conclusively. But if that is true, I mean, it's a very, very, very heavy thing.
Yeah, a lot of people say interdimensional beings.
Right, I want to ask, are angels and demons, or how would you describe these beings?
You know, these are, again, I'm getting into the realm of conjecture, so I just want to say that flat out.
Entity?
But one thing I know for a dead certain fact, having seen it, is that there is good and evil, that we are being acted upon at all times. And I think every person can feel that in himself. I mean, there are moments when you are moved to do things that are much better than you actually are, and that are also more evil and destructive than you actually are. You are subject to forces from outside yourself. That is absolutely true. Now, we can argue about what they are, but every person in the room, if he's reflective, will tell you, yes, I know what you're talking about. And so there are forces that are not human, that do exist in a spiritual realm of some kind, that we cannot see, and that when you think about it, sort of make you think we live in an ant farm.
Yeah.
Being right? And that's that is real.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there's many.
Okay,
It's my personal belief based.
so yeah, so I'm a student of the Law of One, Raw Teachings. It's a very odd document. And I happen to agree with everything he says. It's really interesting that Tucker and I are almost the same, actually almost exactly the same age. I think we're a couple months apart. And he has, he's gone off the track during this track. I mean, I did too, but I, woke up to this stuff, I don't know, 15 years ago, 20 years ago, something like that. And by studying the Law of One, it made me really understand that these beings are here. They're interacting with us at all times. They actually are part of how the universe is built. They are here because this universe is a free will universe, and we are allowed to choose our path, both positive and negative. Law of One is the only document that I've come across that actually describes the two paths and kind of how the characters are and the characterizations of each of the paths and what happens along them. And yeah, our government is definitely involved in with these beings, whatever they are, whatever they look like. A lot of people say the reptiles. Who knows what they are? I'm not really sure. I'm sure there's multiple species involved. There's multiple races, multiple planets, multiple galaxies. I am 100% convinced of that. I think a lot of the stuff. One of the reasons I rail against the fake moon landing stuff is because they are covering up for this off-world slave trade. Sorry, I'm just gonna blow it. We're gonna say it out straight out loud. There's a big slave trade of humans going on. Over 1 million children a year go missing by FBI statistics. You can look that up. A year in the United States. I think it's the United States. 1 million children go missing a year. Now, a lot of them are abducted by their strange parents, but a lot of them I think are going off world because they just don't show up anywhere else. There's no graves. There's no. It's just they don't show up. So that's I believe pretty much that's what's going on. That's why everything's becoming so heinous, and we're becoming to a seems we're coming to a crux point, to some sort of event point that seems to be around 2030. Seems to be the number that they're targeting, some sort of event. And Law of One goes into some detail about what that possibly could be. And I could probably go into some more videos about this, and also talk about my experience up at East City. I was invited to up at East City. I had no idea. I heard a little bit about it. I was like, okay, whatever. You hear a lot of these stories about these places, and yeah, I definitely had some encounter up there. So that was just more proof in the pile of things that have happened in my life that show that these things are real. So it's really interesting to see these public figures start to talk about some of this stuff. And I don't know whether they really want to spill the beans on what's actually going on, because it's pretty scary. But like off-world slave trade, you can't do anything about it, can't stop it. It's some sort of agreement. Yeah, it's pretty scary. So, but given all the character of everything else they've done, this is not far out from what I've researched, and I'll probably share some more stuff about what I've uncovered there. All right, that's it for now.